everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to talk about one of my favorite mangas that I have ever read. I haven't read a lot of manga, like at all, so of course one of the first ones that I'm gonna read is going to be on my list of favorites, but genuinely I think this is a series that I will keep on my shelf and cherish forever. I already have the first 6 volumes. The 7th one I know is coming out in, I think, this month, so it's gonna be, I wrote it down just so I wouldn't forget, October 25th. They're releasing the 7th volume in its English edition, so I am waiting very patiently for the 7th volume to come out. But I wanted to talk about this just because this series has also been helping me through this really difficult period that I'm going through, and it is hard sometimes to be able to immerse yourself in new books or new worlds. This series has just brought a lot of joy into my life that I really needed, and a lot of comfort. It makes you happy. Like it just makes you happy. I'm the type of person, I love slice of life things, and that's exactly what this is. Just such a beautiful story, and it's really fun. Like it touches on serious topics, but it is truly just at its core a very fun series, and it's just about love, and it's amazing. I haven't even said the title of it yet, but it is A Man and His Cat by Sakurai. This is volume 1, and first off, just with this series in general, I absolutely love the artwork, and I love the way they printed these. So they're not glossy, they're actually matte covers, as you can hear my hand sliding around on it. And this is just what the art style looks like in general. So you can see that's the man and that's this cat that he ends up adopting. But as you can see, I have tabbed the heck out of this one. The other ones, I only tabbed 1 through 3, so I ran out of tabs. You can see there's a lot of pink and a lot of orange, which means there's a lot of loving moments, a lot of really cute moments, as well as a lot of funny moments. So orange to me I use for humor, and pink I use for love or any type of like loving sentiment. It doesn't have to be between 2 people. So obviously this story focuses on a man adopting a cat, and he ends up naming him Fukumaru. I'm on the page where Mr. Kanda decides to name Fukumaru, and he says, "Meeting you has been a joy," or Kofuku, so you are Fukumaru. So wholesome, look how cute that is. Mr. Kanda is actually a now retired piano player. He still plays piano, but he, instead of traveling the world, he teaches children music, and in this one you get a little bit of a glimpse into him starting his new job, feeling very shy. He's a very shy person, and rebuilding his life about a year or so after he lost his wife, and he has an empty home. His wife had always wanted a cat, and so he decided one day just to walk into this pet shop, and he saw Fukumaru here, and he just decided to adopt him. And you actually get both of their points of views, which I really like. So Fukumaru has already been there for about a year, so he's not a kitten anymore. I don't think he's ugly, personally. I don't think he's ugly, but a lot of people's general opinion about him is that he's too ugly or he's too old, and you know, the children that are going in there to get a pet, they don't want, you know, an old cat, they want a kitten, and their parents say the same thing. So poor Fukumaru here has been sitting there for a year, just sad. He doesn't have his siblings with him, he doesn't have his mom with him, and he's just been sitting in this little box staring out into the world, wishing that he could be taken home and loved. And he had started actually to kind of give up on the idea that he would ever find a home. until Mr. Kanda came in. And so a lot of this first book is them starting to build their relationship together and learning to trust one another, learning about one another, and, you know, falling in love with each other. And it's just the cutest thing ever. It makes me laugh out loud. It makes me smile. Sometimes I want to cry. Like, this is just a very hard-hitting, wholesome book. And I didn't realize that they had so many volumes out already. This actually originally started as a web comic, and I'm just so grateful that I found this. We found this on a whim when we were looking for a book for one of my boyfriend's friends for his birthday like a year ago. And I also got a copy of this because I am such a huge cat lover and I never looked back. So that is volume 1. Now for volume 2, this one, it's more of a continuation of just learning about their relationship and, you know, of course, developing that trust and that bond. And then you start to learn a little bit more and get kind of a glimpse into their past lives. So with Fukumaro, you kind of see, you know, what kind of relationship he had had with his mom. And then with Mr. Kanda, you see glimpses of memories that he has with his wife, and they kind of tie into the present, and so do Fukumaro's memories, and they tie into the present, and you can kind of see, you know, similarities between either those past events or those past words or those past interactions with the people that they loved and how they tie into their current relationship, or a difference, you know, a positive change that's happening for both of them from that difficult time period, and maybe from not the best parts of those relationships. And so it's really sweet to just see the progression and the development of not only their own self-confidence, but still like their relationship. And it's just so cool because, like I said, you do get both of their points of views. So it's just really beautiful to kind of see that blossoming within them. And you actually start to meet Mr. Kanda's friends. So you meet his best friend, and then you meet some of his co-workers, and you kind of start to see like everyone who meets him is kind of awed by him. He's supposed to be very handsome and very, I would say, charismatic, but they describe it more as he just has a light about him. He just, this kind of emanating, you know, light that you just want to be around. And it's really sweet. And then they actually assume that he has a girlfriend, and that's why he's spending so much time on his phone. And all of the people at his work are like, oh my gosh, he has a girlfriend, like we don't have a chance with him, and blah blah blah. And then they find out it's a cat, and then of course they're, you know, so happy. But it is very funny. So again, this series is just really funny. Like, it just has so many laugh out loud moments, and it's the cutest thing. And as you can see on the cover here, they're cuddling. And what's also cool is that it's not just always the story developing necessarily in these like big dramatic ways, you know. It's actually, there's certain parts where it's literally just day-to-day trivial activities, and you see like Fukumaro sitting on a shelf, and Mr. Kanda walks past, and Fukumaro bats his head, and then Mr. Kanda laughs, and then he walked past again, and the same thing happens, and they're both, you know, just kind of laughing and really enjoying, you know, being together. So that's also what I like, is that some of it is literally just purely comedy, and it's just purely just like, oh yeah, this is totally what my cat does to me too, and it just feels very relatable. And again, with that slice of life, that's what's so nice, is that you can see, you know, those similarities in your life and find comfort with that. So that's what I really enjoy about this series as well, of course. When you get to volume 3, you can see he is playing on his piano. So Mr. Kanda is a very well-known pianist, and he was like world renowned, played huge concert venues and all that. And from the night that his wife died, I believe, he had been doing a show, and then he got a call, and you know, that was just where his life changed. It changed very dramatically, and ever since then he has not been able to get back up on that stage and really play in front of people, and he plays a lot of sad music. He's very in his head, so that's one thing about him that you see a lot, is he's very in his head, and he's very, you know, reserved as a person, and doesn't really share a whole lot with the people that are in his life and that he does see on a day-to-day basis, which is kind of sad. But of course with the series that changes, and that's very cool. So this one is more of that transitional period where he is going from, you know, being a lot more reserved and not really sharing with people the things that he loves and the thing that he did love so much for a very long time. And he starts playing the piano again, and you know, Fukumaru helps him with that, helps him see that there is joy still there with that thing, and that he can still share that with others like he used to with his wife and his children. And it's just really sweet. You know, it is very sad. His backstory is very sad, but again, it's really nice to see that development and, you know, that rebuilding that this series is based off of. So that is volume 3. And then you get into volume 4 and it starts to get a lot sillier. So in volume 4, you actually meet Mr. Hibino here and Marin, who Mr. Hibino is basically Kanda's rival, and Kanda didn't really know that until now. So they meet up later in life. Mr. Hibino basically had been chasing Kanda's career and wanted to beat him. He wanted to be the best. He wanted to be the #1 pianist, and he had never really gotten to that level, at least with his audience and the people around him. And then one day his mother comes by and is like, I don't want this cat anymore. And he just decides to keep her. It's such a weird kind of serendipitous moment, and where they meet again at such a different kind of stage in their lives, you know, because Mr. Kanda isn't doing concert venues anymore. He's kind of disappeared from that world very suddenly and has been gone for long enough that, you know, he's kind of like a big mystery to all of those people, whereas Mr. Hibino has kind of taken his slot and feels like he basically won. In this one, they become true friends through this, like I said, serendipitous moment where they both are at the same pet store that Fukumaru had come from, and Mr. Hibino was talking to the same sales lady that had originally helped Kanda get Fukumaru and all of his toys and litter box and just all the essentials, and she was very, very excited and very invested because she had known Fukumaru since he was a baby. And so you see them meet, and Mr. Hibino has this whole dialogue in his head for quite a while about how he's like, how could I even be friends with this guy? Like, you know, this guy has a cat, like what's his deal, and blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, eventually form this very unique bond through both owning these cats. And you get to see a lot of Fukumaru and Marin playing. And so Mr. Hibino and Mr. Kanda get to learn more about each other and really get to kind of understand each other through these play dates, and it's just really sweet. And then with this, you also get to meet and learn even more about the people in Mr. Kanda's life, like his best friend, his co-worker that also is a musician and is wanting to, you know, really kind of not forcefully push, but kind of push Mr. Kanda back into, you know, that life. And Mr. Hibino grudgingly also wants to do that, I believe. So that is, this one is very cute. And yeah, like I said, it just starts to focus more on the relationships in his life, but there's still a lot a lot of cat content. All right, and volume 5, this cat right here, name is Moja. And Moja was a cat that Fukumaru also knew from when he was at the shelter. And this cat got adopted before him, but similar to Fukumaru, he was kind of, well, actually, no, not similar to Fukumaru. This cat was a grump. He also did not really believe that he would get adopted, but eventually a little boy picked him out, and that was all Fukumaru knew of him until one day, all of a sudden, Fukumaru is looking out the back window and he sees him in his yard. And he's like, why are you here? Like, I thought you had a home and a family. And it turns out that Moja had been missing for about a week or so. And so Fukumaru takes the first chance he can to run out of the house and try and find him. But of course, he also ends up getting lost just because he's never been that far away from home. So Mr. Kanda thankfully ends up finding Moja, takes him to the vet, gets him back home. And then the rest of this volume is about trying to find Fukumaru and how important really their relationship with each other is and how lost they are without each other. And so you really see the people in Mr. Kanda's life, you know, those new people step in and their relationships grow even stronger through trying to find Fukumaru because they all have this love for this cat who is just so unique and so special to this person that's also very unique and special to them in their lives. And this one is just really cute. And also with Fukumaru, you get to see, you know, the point of view of the cats. So Fukumaru, of course, like I said, you know, he's very lost without Mr. Kanda, and you know, that's his home, that's his family. And it's the same with Moja, you know, him being outside made him realize even more just how much they actually love him. So I really liked this one, and it was really cute, even though it was kind of sad and stressful to read. But I love slice of life, just anything, is because it always has some type of underlying message or messages that really can speak to you on a much deeper level, even though on the surface this is just, you know, a cat manga. So that is the 5th one that I read. All right, and number 3, which is just, look how cute this cover is. Like, oh my gosh, this is just the cutest thing. So, no, did I say number 3? Number 6. Oh my goodness. Okay, so number 6. So this is Mr. Kanda's work friend who, like I said, also wants to be a musician. He's more of like a rock musician, but there is a twist in this one, is that his band decides to ditch him on a show night right when the show starts, just to, I don't even know what lesson they were really trying to teach him, but he was trying to go in a little bit of a different creative direction, and they were making fun of him for it, and somehow this makes sense, is to leave him high and dry. But luckily Mr. Kanda decided to go to his show, overcome his fear of being in performance spaces, and actually ended up going with his best friend and Mr. Habino, and they sub in. So this one has less cat content and more just focusing on him building up his courage and the relationships that he has with these people. It's just really cute. I hope the next one has more cat content, I'm not gonna lie, but I am liking that you are getting deeper and deeper into seeing the changes in Mr. Kanda and Fukumaru's lives, and you know, the people around him, and just getting more backstory. And I'm a sucker for like fully developed side characters. Like, I like to know everything that's going on with everybody. I love it. So that is the 6th one. Like I said, the 7th one is coming out this month. Forgot to show you on the back too, there's always like these little kind of drawings and sketches. If you can see that, they're so cute. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. And then there's even like full page kind of glossy art in it, and the table of contents. So all the table of contents look like this, but then of course they have the different colors and then the different you know, kind of stances that they're doing. And at the end of it, actually, also there is these really cute little blurbs where it's like a tiny little comic kind of saying like, thank you for reading this, you know, blah, 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 blah. And it's really cute. Like I said, like it feels like a very personal story, and it just really like hits home in a lot of ways, and it's just so sweet. It's so sweet, and it just makes me so happy. These books, as kind of cheesy and cute as they are, they comfort you, they help you see the beauty in life that maybe you were struggling to see at some points. And it's really nice, like to be able to, through these, you know, kind of look at your own life and look at the things that you have and really appreciate those things. And that's what I've been trying to do a lot, especially recently. It's like I already kind of was doing that, but I'm just so appreciative of what and who I have in my life. And, you know, these books really do focus on that. When you are going through a difficult period, how important those relationships are, you know, person or animal. And yeah, that's why I recommend this series. I will always recommend this series. I think it's beautiful, and I just really hope you enjoy it. I hope you check it out, even if you only get the first volume. Like, you got time. You have time. They're still making them. But I'm wanting to do this now because I listen to music so much, and music is also something else that really speaks to me and helps me and is very therapeutic for me, because I absolutely love singing, and I love singing and I love music. So I have a song recommendation, and I'm hoping to continue this in every video, but it is by Seven Lions featuring Vancouver Sleep Clinic, and it's called Call on Me. So I will have a link down below to not only the Wikipedia page that I read to get a little more information and background on the series itself, but also a link to that song. It came out not that long ago, and it's so good. I love Vancouver Sleep Clinic's voice. It is just so beautiful, and it's really cool. So make sure to go check that out, especially if you're somebody who is more into like EDM. Yeah, I think that's it. So if you ended up enjoying this video and you stayed till the end, make sure to give it a like. If you think there's somebody else who has either read these or is maybe interested in getting into manga, but they don't really know what to read, then make sure to link this video to them, share it with them, or if just in general you think they would like it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel as well for any future kind of bookish videos, life videos, you know, all this stuff. Also, I have my Instagram link below if you want to get updates on said videos and just updates in general about like what kind of stuff I'm doing and art and whatever. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I hope that you are taking care of yourself. And yeah, I love you guys. Bye.